Hi Taurus, I'm Anisha. To know more about my work, you may visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. For those of you who are seeking deeper clarity in your personal charts, in your lives as well as in your career, for a personal consultation, you may write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. Do remember to subscribe, like and share my videos. I will greatly appreciate it. Taurians, we begin the month with Mars that is going direct, and it's going direct finally in a part of your chart that has to do with relationship. And these have been bothering you a lot since the last 2.5 months, Taurians. There seems to be a lot of flux that seems to be happening. You seem to be in a sort of a space wherein a pause button has got pressed, and you are wondering, do I go left, do I go right, is this the right decision, am I doing the right thing? And now suddenly with Mars going direct, there seems to be clarity, and it's almost a sense of relief that you are sort of out of the bottleneck and out in the open, and you're saying, okay, I'm ready to take the call finally, and I'm ready to take this decision. Now, what also Mars direct would do for you as far as the relationships are concerned, I think even though there is enough assertiveness, in some cases maybe enough aggression and enthusiasm and also motivation, but I think a lot of you will be willing to be flexible as well. And I think there has been about 2.5 months of introspection, hopefully, that has happened as far as your relationships are concerned. And you've had to, because this speaks about your marriage, it speaks even about your business partnerships and how it is that you have been balancing or have been managed to balance the relationships that are there. And now would be the time where, after all the introspection, and some of you hopefully will realize the whether the I think the not just the sensibility, but really you would be looking at a long-term view. You will be looking at an overall picture, and you will be saying, I've come so far and I've done this for so long, and maybe it's worth keeping it rather than just chucking it. For some of you, it could be that these last 2 months could have been a make or break, and you'll just be realizing and saying, what, I'm finally ready to take action on this, and there's enough of me sort of going back and forth on this. And for some of you who have forever been thinking of committing yourself, will go and pop the question and get engaged or get married. So congratulations over there. Now around the 4th, right at the first week of 4th, we have your 3rd house that is brightly lit up. We have Mercury over there, followed by Sun, Venus, and we also have a new moon there. So now, and this entire 3 week, there's going to be a lot of activity, and this is all about your siblings, it's about community, it's about short distance travel, it is about learning. So a lot of activity out there, and it can be that either you have you'll find this increase in communication. Either there are a lot of emails going out, or conversations happening, or SMSing, or some form of conversation communication is really happening, or it's really increased around this time. And you could be just gathering information, you could be collecting it to make a decision, or you could just be preparing yourself for something. It's also a time wherein a day-to-day activities could also be they could just be in a very sort of a smoother routine, that wouldn't seem like a chore, and you could just be sort of be feeling very happy that everything's organized, everything is in its place, and things are moving very smoothly around you. Also, during these 3 weeks, it's advisable that you take quick decisions. It's good for you. Don't sort of think, waste more time in analyzing and over-analyzing that phase you've done in the last 2.5 months. So now just go ahead and do it. Taurans, don't sort of sit and agonize and think that, oh God, now what is it that I need to be doing? And it's also a time because it rules siblings. You could be spending a lot of time with your siblings. You could just be... They could be visiting, you could be visiting, or you could be staying at each other's place, and you could just be having some nice, lovely, old, nostalgic moments over here. Around the 13th, we have Venus, that is your ruling planet, and Venus is going into your house of home, and we have Mercury that is following it there, and then later we have Sun. So this particular house is houses of your home, your roots, your foundation, your nurturance. It's the house of your mother. So there could be some amount, I think, either some decision that you're taking, and you are sort of, your mother seems to be really involved in it, and There seems to be a lot of conversations that are happening around it as to what is it that you should do next and how it is that you should take it forward. And there's also a time wherein that you could find that your mind is really clouded by emotions, Taurans, that you're not just able to sort through it. So there could be a lot of this leaning towards the family members, and especially your mother, and you could be like taking her help, or in some cases she could sort of be giving some really sound advice, and she could really be advising you, and she literally could be this light in this tunnel, that or maybe she's been giving you some advice for the longest time and you're not paying much heed to it, and this is the time that you'll just get up and say, okay, fine, I need to be doing this. And also it's a time wherein that I think a lot of security and anchoring is being looked upon at home, and that's a place I think where all of us, we go and rest, not just physically but even emotionally. It's where we go and anchor ourselves. So it's a time where you are sort of just before you take off on another journey, you're just setting in and you're spending time with your family. You're at home amongst your things, your lovely house, and you just sort of enveloping yourself with the warmth of the house, or even the support, whether it's coming from extended families, cousins, siblings, and you're just generally feeling quite nurtured. And you want to, I think in certain cases it could almost be a feeling like when you were small and then you were starting on something new, and the kind of support that your parents or your siblings gave and how they cheered you on and said, yeah, go for it, you can do it. It could be, of course, in adult form. It could be a similar kind of a thing wherein you have your family that is there as a cheerleader, and it's cheering you and saying go for it and do it. Around the 19th we have a full moon that is there in Capricorn, and we have Pluto that is there in Capricorn, and Pluto is there in Capricorn for the longest of time. In fact, it entered Capricorn around 2008 and it carries on being there till about 2024. And for you, this is happening in a part of your house that is about expansion. So we have Pluto over here that's there in Capricorn, and we have a full moon over here which is all about closures. Now Pluto, the interesting thing about Pluto is it goes all under, it digs deep. Everything that is underneath the surface. It's not just happy looking at the superficial things and saying. Pluto, because of the long duration that it stays in each house, it ensures that it just completely overhauls. It takes out like everything from underneath. So since then, Pluto literally, that's the Hades god, he literally rules underworld and everything that is in your subconscious, subjects like psychology, in fact, anything to do with crime, murder, everything is covered by Pluto. And even I think any unsolved mysteries, doctrines or sciences also get covered under the Plutonian thing. So even you have your dictatorships and fascism, everything gets covered under the Plutonian energy. However, even absolute dedication and devotion also is a very Plutonian thing. So with this aspect that is there on your expansion of your mind, and what is it that is you really want, Taurans? This is what is really being asked of you. So you really want to be free as a bird. You want freedom. So freedom is like a big focus over here, and Pluto has just gotten in over here underneath, and it's no longer saying that, oh, light and nice and happy, I want my freedom, I want to go for a holiday. No, this is more than that. This is about your own personal freedom, and Pluto has like sat and dug over there and brought it up, and with a full moon over there, it's like a closure. It's like a full coming to a full circle. It's like a culmination wherein that you sit back and you say, aha, now I know, what this has all been about. This entire journey has been about my personal freedom, that I don't want to let go of my personal space, and this is how I want to be free. Or whether it is in a relationship, whether it is just you on your own as to how it is that you choose to lead your life. But this particular house with the full house coming and closing over here, it's a time where that you will there are going to be a lot of moments of epiphany where you're going to be looking at saying that this is who I am, and this is what I want in life, this is how I want to be in life, and this is what I seek, and hence I need to be letting go of this in order to be gaining this for myself. And it's not such a selfish thing. I think for some of us, we tend to sort of confuse the things of saying that if I'm going to be watching out for myself, it's so selfish. But I think with the expansion of the mind and seeking and knowledge and your own personal growth, there can be nothing more bigger, because I think you really become a far more better person when you just constantly keep evolving. So that's quite a journey that you are on, Taurians. And also it's a time wherein that because it's there in Capricorn, the full moon. So, and Capricorn is all about material things, it's all about tangible things, about security, about what is it that you'll be doing. So, it's about how it is that you deal with power. So, it can be that it's just sort of you have understood an aspect of what power it is. And for some of you, you may not want it. You're just quite willing to sort of keep it on a side and say, I'm quite done with it and I don't want it anymore and I'm quite happy. I would choose my freedom over power, and I would choose my freedom over whether it's being confined to a very fancy big job that is not letting you do what you want to, or it's a really very bitter, or not just a bitter, very challenging relationship where it has all the material comforts, but it doesn't give you that kind of freedom. So it could be either that you could be sitting and evaluating. So all of this could be sort of be paramount subconsciously and could be going on in your mind. So happy expanding, Taurians. I think the more you expand your mind, and the more that you grow, and the more that you allow yourself to grow and be more free and let more newer ideas and thoughts and stay more flexible, the faster you will evolve. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Taurians. I'll see you again next month, and thank you so much for watching.